Good morning, everybody. This is Ken Norton from Panama Properties, and I'm going to do a quick video this morning because I haven't had much time lately. The market's been booming here, and I've been dealing with a lot of buyers coming into Panama. So I haven't had a lot of time to do these videos to educate and inform you guys out there on the good, the bad, and the ugly, and all the stuff that we try to do to help to protect and guide potential clients coming into Panama looking to make a move, an investment, or retirement property here. So what I wanted to do is we wrote an article, and then we're going to back it up with this video this morning about what I think is a very, very important subject, and I deal with clients all the time regarding this. And this subject has a lot to do with figuring out where you want to live in Panama before you start your property search. So anybody that's ever met me in my office or spent any time with me has heard me talk about when I first came to Panama, there was a lot of people that were angry or frustrated here, and I couldn't figure out why. And I came to the conclusion after a bit of time that a lot of people that had moved into the area before I was here had bought or had been sold a house based on the fact that they bought their dream property, but they hadn't necessarily done their due diligence on the area. And there's nothing wrong with this area if it's for you. And this doesn't just apply to Panama. This obviously applies to anywhere in Panama. You move into Panama City and Panama City's not for you, it's a mistake. You go to Boquete, it's a mistake. You go to Coronado and you haven't decided that that's for you, it's a mistake. Okay, so what I talk a lot about is you need to come and you need to fall in love with the area that you're going to be living in or investing in or spending, maybe you're snowbirding. And you need to know, is that community the type of community that I want to spend my time in or live in? More importantly also is if you're living here full time. So I always say fall in love with the community first. If you're looking for a beach community, does it have everything that you want in a beach community? I'm not talking about my needs. I'm not talking about your neighbor's needs. I'm not talking about your friend's needs. I'm talking about your needs. If you're looking for mountain views, is there enough there? You want peaceful? Do you want convenient? These are all things that you need to take in consideration of your life or your partner's life, your wife, your husband, your long-term spouse. Is it going to meet both of your guys' needs? So this is something that I preach a lot of. I get buyers coming into my office or potential buyers coming to my office, and they're like, "Hey, can you show us some properties?" And I'm always like, "Do you want to be here?" And they're like, "Well, what do you mean?" And I'm always like, "Have you decided that this is the community that you want to buy into?" They're like, "Well, we don't know. We want to look at some homes and see if how far our dollar will go, or if there's a type of home." I'm like, "Listen, it doesn't matter where in Panama that you buy. I can find you the home that you want, typically within your budget, as long as it's a reasonable budget. Okay, $250,000, $300,000 is basically where we're usually sitting on minimum budgets these days in Panama. You're not going to get a dream property at $100,000. Now, if you're willing to settle for a small house, usually in town, or maybe a renovated Panamanian house, yeah, we can get you in for that 100, 150. But you want ocean views, you want to be near the beach, you want to be in the prime areas of the mountain towns, you want to be in a condo that's convenient in a safe area of Panama City, you're typically going to be looking at a minimum of $250. But I'm not even talking about those types of things. I'm not talking about budgets, I'm not talking about quality, I'm not talking about any of that in this video. Okay, I'm talking about what suits your life. Okay, does your lifestyle meet your expectations in the community that you're looking to buy in? Is the area far enough away or close enough to the things that you want? I just had friends come. They bought a place in Coronado. I helped them buy the place in Coronado. Their priority was to be within that hour and a half of airports, so that when their family comes to visit, it's convenient for them. They're going to snowbird here, and they have a lot of family that comes in those 4 to 6 months that they're here every year. So they want to be in an area where they can run to the airport and it doesn't take them 6 hours to get to the airport. That was their priority. Good for them. They identified their priorities, and then we help them to do that, okay? Is there enough amenities? Do you need shopping malls? Do you need to be able to go and buy Louis Vuitton and Gucci? Or are you happy with basic amenities of simple supermarkets and a few pharmacies? You know, where do your priorities sit? Do you need top tier healthcare, or are you willing to travel to healthcare? These are all the things that sometimes people buy into, for example, a beach community and a beautiful, beautiful house, and then they realize afterwards, you know, they're going to Panama City 7 hours away every single week for healthcare. If you're okay with that, that's fine. If you're not okay with that, then we need to identify that before you pull the trigger, okay? Small town versus big town, okay? Coming from New York City, not everybody coming from New York City is happy to move into a town of 2,000 or 3,000 people. Other people, that's why they're moving here. So they want to come from the big city and they want to go to small town life. But sometimes adjusting to that takes a while. But if you identify that that's what you're willing to go through, cool. I support you, and I will find you a property or a home that fits into that, okay? Some examples of small towns are Boquete, Pedasí, Playa Banal, Bocas del Toro. These areas definitely fit into the small town categories, okay? Are you willing to have that? Some have more conveniences than others, okay? If you're looking to get away from the overwhelming, the noisy, the fast pace, then these are the places for you. You know, you want the shopping malls, you want the box stores, you want all the brand name supermarkets. Then you're probably looking at more like Panama City or Coronado, Punta Pacifica, Panama Pacifico, these types of areas, okay? So it's a matter of, I always say to people, they need to identify where they want to be. That's primary number one, okay? When people come through and they're like, well, we're looking at this, we're looking at this, we're looking at this, can you show us homes? I go, no. You know, that's where we're at right now. No, I don't want to show you homes when you don't know, because you're going to make a purchase maybe based on a home. And besides that, to be completely honest, you're wasting my time. We are real estate agents. We are not tour guides, okay? I will spend as many hours, days, or weeks helping you to find a home where you've decided you want to live, invest, retire. But what I don't want to do is be that free tour guide showing you around and then you make a decision because you see a nice home, okay? It does not create happy communities, okay? And I think all of us coming here, we need to create happy communities. We're leaving where we came from for a reason, and we want to be better, right? So it's really, really important for you the client, you the buyer, to make the right decisions based on where you want to live. Once you know where you want to live, it's a simple call. Ken, can you and your team help me to find a home in this community? Absolutely. We will bend over backwards. We will die on a cross to help you find that home within that budget. We'll work with other agencies. We'll represent you. We'll refer lawyers. We'll refer inspectors. We'll refer tradesmen. We'll refer all those things to get you into that house that you want. But, you know, basically throwing spaghetti at the wall and looking at everything in the whole country, that comes from you. And you need to decide, I love this community. This is where I see myself in Panama. And then we go into the real estate conversation. I think usually once I sit down and I explain this to people, they understand and they appreciate that, right? Don't get me wrong, there's bad people out there that want to use real estate agents as free tour guides, okay? I don't think that's most people, but that's definitely some. But beyond that, I think people come at this quite often backwards. And what they do is when they come at this backwards, they make mistakes. And then they leave Panama after it's almost exactly 1 year before they're selling their homes. And they're leaving angry. Oh, I got screwed in Panama, and oh, I got ripped off. A lot of times it's not that. It's that they've made rash decisions, okay? Now, does this mean that you have to come here and rent for 6 months? I don't know, maybe. But I think a lot of people, if they spend 2 weeks, a month in a community, and they firm up that decision after, Airbnb for a couple weeks or short-term renting a house for a month, usually that gives you a really, really good insight into that community. Or maybe you come and you do an exploratory tour on your own or with a tour company or a relocation company, and then you come back and you get a little taste of all the different communities, and then you come back and then you spend that couple weeks or a month or whatever, and then you go, okay, yeah, this is where we want to be. Then you give the agent the call and you say, hey, I really want to be here, help me find a home, I'm ready to buy. And that's where I like when the clients come in, because they're making informed decisions, and we will guide their hands, we will hold their hands into making that so that they know the decision they're making is correct, so that they have all the tools in place to not be scammed, to not be worked over by anybody, and we'll help them to get into that right home and that dream property in the community that they buy into. Okay, that they've bought into in their mind, that they've bought into in their hearts, and I think that's super important. Okay, so you have any questions? The link is at the bottom of the video. The blog, we've done lots and lots of blog articles about this and other subjects to help to inform and educate people to make the right decisions. Okay, we are here to help you. We are here to protect you. But we want you to do things in the right order. And the number one order is decide where you want to be first. Okay? Any questions? Get a hold of us. That's what we're here for. Have a good day, guys.